What is on top of the deck? What is on top of the deck? Oh, it's Lightning Helix! Oh my god! Oh my god!
Hello, everyone, and welcome into the show. Welcome on in, each and every one of you hobbits, wizards, elves, every one of you. Come on in, have a seat, and let's have a good time. This is Hunt the Week. It is a weekly Magic the Gathering podcast about the Sealed Arena Gauntlet League. I am your host with the most, your Don John DeMarco, your Goku or Go Home. I am a 3-time top 8er, a 2-time Mega Drafter, and a 1-time League winner. And this is the start of Lord of the Rings League, and I couldn't be happier, I couldn't be more excited, and I couldn't be more behind all at the same time. Because I have been really busy in Neo League, Partner League. I have not paid any attention to Lord of the Rings. I have done one draft. I am 2-0 in it. I don't know what cards are good. I don't know what's going on. I'm very behind. But I thank you for joining me, and I thank you for being a part of this. What can I say? I mean, we got a lot to say. This is going to be a big episode. There's a lot going on. So please join me as our great journey begins.
The ring is evil. It will corrupt and destroy anyone who wears it. What will you do with the One Ring, Frodo?
Yes, what will you do with the One Ring? I didn't open it. I wasn't lucky enough to open the One Ring. We've rolled the pools, but we can't go straight into Lord of the Rings yet. We need to talk about what happened in Neo League. That's right. Neo League is wrapping up. And this, as I record, as of 5 minutes ago, just finished the last game with my partner, Chris. I am very stressed. I am very pumped. This is your top 4 Mega Drafters for Neo League. You are already dead. Philip B, Wesley L, 21-9. Runaway Teamkin, John P and Chris R, 19-9. Blood Moon, Jordan M, Nathan W, 19-10. Greatest Tanuki, squeaking in at the end. Zeke W and Steve T. What a run some of these teams had there at the end. Watching Zeke go 5-1 in the last week. Jake and Sawyer have been playing great. Caleb and Reed, really want to tip my cap to them. They were right there. We were all fighting for these last spots as we got in. But some people made it and some people did not. I am making the Mega Draft for the first time in like a year. I am pumped. I am excited. My partner Chris has never made a Mega Draft. So excited for him. I couldn't be more happy right now about Neo Team League. This is your top 8 individual players. Wesley L, 12-3. Jordan M, 10-5. John P, 10-5. Chris R, Sinkwater, 9-4. Nathan W, 9-5. Reed P, 9-5. Sawyer T, 9-5. And Philip B, 9-6. Look for the Neo Mega Draft. It's coming up. It's themed around sagas and enchantments. And it's all happening maybe this Sunday. Maybe. We haven't scheduled it yet, but we can start scheduling now, because everything just got locked up. But we're going to talk about Lord of the Rings, because that's what we're doing, and that's what we're playing. I thought this was really funny. I looked up Lord of the Rings Magic mechanics, because I wanted to see what was going on with all the mechanics in Lord of the Rings. And I thought that they just described them so weirdly. So you got the ring. That's a mechanic, right? Boom. The ring tempts you. Big mechanic in the set. The ring. Calling you. Tempting you. And then we got a mass. We've done a mass before, but we did zombie armies. Now we're doing orcs. So a mass is back. Pretty cool mechanic. I liked a mass a lot, actually, last time we saw it. Returning food tokens. It's a little weird that food tokens get their own mechanic, but sure. There are things that care about food, and food tokens are back, and hobbits love to eat, and they got that food token with the spider on it. I like it. Land cycling's back. Okay. I don't hate land cycling, mountain cycling. We just had it in, I think? But, yeah, cycling, that's sure. Land cycling, good. And then sagas are back. Who couldn't forget sagas? All the chapters, all the pages. And, of course, you have historic, caring about legendary creatures. And then, right at the very bottom, hey, just stun counters. Just real small. Also, there's stun counters in there, guys. That's a mechanic, right? That's just a counter. I don't know if that counts as a mechanic. I don't know, Wizards. I think that you are stretching it a little bit on that one. And it's Lord of the Rings. It's the IP. It's our first big IP set we've had in the league, and everybody probably has seen the the classic Lord of the Rings, the new Lord of the Rings with Elijah Wood and that's not my Lord of the Rings. Okay, I like the 80s Lord of the Rings. And I don't know if you guys have seen this, but there's a cartoon by Ralph Bakshi, who's a great animator, did this Lord of the Rings cartoon in the 80s. And they did some really cool stuff. And a lot of people don't know about this, but there's some pretty big tie-ins with this movie, right? Like there are some things that happened. There's this outro song in that Lord of the Rings that I think a lot of people haven't heard, and it's by Michael Jackson. It's famous. It's a very famous guy. But I don't know. They gave him this outro song, and it kind of pertains to the league, which is weird. I'm just going to go ahead and see if we can't play that for everybody now. They told you, don't you ever come to Mount Doom. The ring is on your hand, you're gonna get there soon. The racer on your trail, but your quest you can't fail, so wear it. Just wear it. The orcs amass, you better do what you can. They grow and they get counters while they play their hands. The Saugers tick up with the counters they get, so wear it. But you want Lembas bread, so wear it. Wear it. Get yourself a ring and bear it. Step 1, your ring bearer is legendary. Another ring tempts you and you loot for free, so wear it. Just bear it. So wear it. Just bear it. You got your friends Gandalf the Elf and Gimli. You're traveling together with the Hobbits 3. But Saruman and Sauron, they will tempt you, you see. So wear it. Just wear it. Gollum will chase you, so you better be scared. He wants to take your life, so you should be prepared. Your journey is long, but your friendship is strong, so wear it. Second breakfast is had, so wear it. Wear it. Get yourself a ring and bear it. The third time you're tempted, good luck with those blocks. Tempted one more time and you got a clock, so wear it. Just bear it. So wear it. Just bear it. So weird that they recorded that song in the 80s. But if you haven't seen it, check out the Ralph Bakshi Lord of the Rings. I think he did a Hobbit too. Very cool cartoons, very cool animation style, and some cool music in there that everyone should go ahead and check out. But like Lord of the Rings, it's about a group. It's about a community. It's about a lot of people. And I couldn't do this on my own, so I need to go ahead and make the journey to Mordor. Let's do it. Make the journey to Mordor. Mordor. Oh my gosh, let's take it one more time, John. Make the journey to Mordor.
I'm going to Mordor alone.
Of course you are. And I'm coming with you.
All right, that's right. Let's journey to Mount Doom. Let's say that instead. I'm not going to have a problem with that. We're journeying. Oh my gosh. We're going to Mount Doom, and I'm bringing up someone from the league. That certain someone this week is Ryan D. The Slickness. Ryan, are you out there?
I'm here, man.
Oh my God,
First
thank
of
you.
all, the crowd's going wild.
Let's go, Ryan. Let's go.
Oh, not for me. I meant for John's song there, or the 80s.
No, that's Michael
song
Jackson.
that
Do you not know who Michael Jackson is?
I'm right. I'm sorry. Yes.
It's a real
I
song.
think Weird Al is rolling over in his grave right now.
Oh, Weird Al's alive. He's alive and well, my friend.
I know.
I would like to know, John, when will that song be on Spotify for download?
Oh yeah, I'll put it up on. Well, it's probably there because it's from the '80s, so it's probably on Spotify and everything. But I'll get you a special pressing of it, Raph. No problem. Ryan, thank you so much for coming on the show.
Yeah, my pleasure, man. happy to be back.
Happy to be back. You are my rival. For those who don't know, Ryan. I have the worst record. I don't know what it is. I stopped keeping track, but it's bad. It's really bad. Which is a shame because I really like you, Ryan. But you make me dislike
Only
you.
you can rectify the two. I like people that beat me. It inspires me. It makes me want to be better. That's so I'm just trying to inspire you, John.
You must have gotten really inspired in this last league, I'll tell you what. Ryan, I would like to know...
Good comeback. That's good.
Ryan, I would like to know, where does the name The Slickness come from?
All right. So yeah, that is a nickname, Slick, from college, and started out because like most Magic players, I am really smooth with the ladies. Um, so I was deemed slick by my friends who are being sarcastic. So it was not a fun nickname per se, but I don't think that anymore. Like it literally just became my name in college, so like I don't even really think about it.
Would your friends call
Um,
you Slickness? Be like, hey, Slickness,
no, it's just slick.
just
I
Slick.
threw yeah, just slick. I threw the Ness on there because like I don't know, whenever I needed to sign up for something, slick was just too generic or maybe taken or something like that.
Oh yeah.
And there was like the Disturbed song, "Down with the Sickness." I don't know if you know that.
Oh, how can I forget?
I don't know. Well, that was like popular when I was in college. So whenever I needed to make my first username or whatever for something like for fantasy football, I went with the slickness. Down with the slickness.
Get up, get down with the Slickness. Ryan, we've been playing Magic together, me and you, for a couple years now. It's always a joy, and you are, I don't know, you're one of my favorites, man. Like I said, you beat me all the time, but you've always got such a good attitude. You're funny. I like you. I like talking to you. I like having you on the show. But what I really liked was watching you play your Neo partner games with Chris York, because I'm not lying when I'm saying it's the best. The best. It is the best I've ever had in the server. The best time. I was at 11. Like there is no moment. I've won a mega draft. It might not have been as great as watching you and Chris York play your games together. It was such good entertainment. I want to know what that experience was like from your perspective.
Sure. Yeah. Well, I'm really glad that Chris is here, so he can chime in on this too. But as much as you're setting me up to make a joke or something or really rag on Chris, I had a good time. The bickering and arguing is what made it fun. Otherwise, I would have just been sitting here losing by myself,
Aw.
feeling sad. But instead, I had a companion to share that hurt with,
Aw. That
and
sounds
possibly blame, maybe a little.
He loves those Kitsune aces, that guy. What can you say?
Oh man, the ancestral katana is what killed me. The lowest win rate card in Neo that I couldn't get him to take out of his deck, despite not having warriors or samurai or whatever to lower its activation cost.
I just loved how surprised you were by the cards he would play, and you wouldn't see them until he drew them, and what is this? Why is this in your deck?
Yeah, it's like, well, yeah. He was really busy, as he mentioned. So
Yeah.
it's just like, just send me. He looked over, of course. He wasn't like totally absent or anything, but he's like, yeah, just send me the deck, and I'll do it. I'm like, all right. And then he brings it up for a game and he plays a card. I'm like, what is that? Why are you playing that? A vehicle synergy card. You don't have any vehicles. Why did you add that in?
It was so fun. And Chris, if you'd like to just chime in about how it was from your perspective, because you guys didn't do great. You didn't do very well. And I know losing is never a good feeling, right? But you gave so much positivity out from your games that I hope you guys aren't taking too negative of an experience away from it, because it really was like, if I saw you guys streaming, I'd drop what I was doing and I'd try to focus in and get in there. They were just so good.
But as they say, misery loves company, and we were having the most miserable league experience. So, Ryan could take comfort in the fact that as badly as he was doing, his partner did even worse. I won 0 matches in that league. We had a couple heartbreakers where we came very close, but this was the league where I did absolutely the most miserable. And I tried to keep a good face on it. And when you're doing that badly, what can you do but to have fun with it? If you took it too seriously, you just have to retire, from the game entirely. So at the point where you get a bad hand, you're dealt a bad hand, or you have a couple bad breaks in your gameplay, I think you just have to, smile and move along and try to resolve it with a bit of dignity. We went into this with delusions of mediocrity, not even delusions of grandeur. And we were right. We were deluded in that we thought we could be mediocre and come in the middle of the pack instead of dead last, which is where we ended up.
Hey, not even entropy, guys. We couldn't even.
Yeah.
Oh man, we played all our games and we even lost to people that took entropy. So.
Oh yeah.
You should tell them your worst beat though, Chris. It was a good style. I think a lot of people heard it already, but.
Oh, that's really painful to bring up. I mean, so we had one game where it went like something like 40 minutes or something ridiculous. And we ended up winning that one, I think. And then we lost a real quick one. It went to game 3, and we were out of time, as I recall.
Yeah, like something ridiculous, like a minute 30, like something crazy. It was just like I was just a defeated partner. I'm like, it's over, Chris. He's like, well, I'm just sideboarding. He just like sideboarded like all his 1 and 2 drops in there. And I'm just like, yeah, whatever,
You take it over. You tell it better than I do, actually. You got, because I was in the moment. I can't analyze it as well. So you go ahead and Ryan and finish it up.
All right, yeah. So he had just a minute 30 in there. You saw Sawyer just run out of time with 6 minutes 30 in your game, John. Imagine a 1 minute 30 clock.
Yeah, no.
Well, and the other thing is, when at the minute 30 left, Chris has he doesn't use the auto tapper, so spending that extra time to like click to accept like the lands, that was also killing me, but that was part of the fun. He somehow got him down to where he had 9 life left and he had like 5 seconds left. He drew a card and it was that Springleaf Avenger, ninjutsu for 6. All he had to do, click all attack, ninjutsu one of his guys out. He had lethal. He hit that all attack. His guys move forward. The screen fades to black as the timer goes off. So he had it. A minute 30 victory. He had it, and he couldn't bring that Avenger in there. Oh,
the timer's brutal.
Can I just say like that? I could not win a game to save my life, literally. Even in the best circumstances in this league. And I think here's the thing: it's a real good argument for why we don't use timers in these casual events. Generally speaking, I know that it's important to keep partner time to a reasonable amount, but yeah. I think it leads to miserable experiences and games that are lost that should have been won, right? And so I think that there's some feel bads there that are associated just with having timers in the league. So generally speaking, I'm not a big fan, but this is a special event. I know some people like timers, so with that particular subset of players are probably pleased by this tournament, but I'm not one of those players. I like this sort of, I figured that we should have all the time in the world in this casual play environment to get better at the game and to enjoy each other's company. And so that's the focus for me. But putting the clock on things, it definitely changed the dynamic, and we're going to have a real fun mega draft as a result, I think.
Oh, yeah, jeez.
Fun because I'm not in it. I get to watch it.
Mega draft coming up. Everyone stay tuned for when we announce the date and time of that thing.
To ask you a question, John, as one of the finalists, we should be interviewing you. You normally interview league winners, and we're the opposite of that. What do you think about the rules that the committee just cooked up for the Mega Draft finals?
Because this is so it just came out that we can talk to our partner during the draft and during our games, right? Which is really cool because it was something I was really excited for in the last team league. But the last team league was just 2 teams, and it didn't really make sense for them to be able, they would just be able to tell what every pick was for every player, and it wouldn't have worked. It would have been too formulaic and systematic and procedural. But now 4 different teams of 2, we all get to kind of do our own thing. I think that's going to be really exciting and really cool. And helping during games, I think, is also going to be very stressful because it's I have to stop paying it. I have to downsize Arena, or pull up his screen somewhere to take a look. and like try to pay attention to two things at once, which is not easy, right? That's a whole different thing. I think it's going to make for a very interesting and a very stressful Mega Draft. Yeah, I'm excited. I think it's going to be great.
Yeah, congratulations, John.
Thank you, Ryan. Thank you. It's been a while, man. I didn't know I still had it in me. If I'm being honest, it's been a minute.
Yeah, I mean, since Chris is here too, and it's his first top 8, it might be worth getting a thought or two from him about how he felt about discovering the secret room, the top 8 channel.
I don't know that Chris is actually here. He might just be in the channel. If you are here, Chris, please talk about that experience. But I think he actually had something to do after our game, which ran longer than we expected it to. Yeah, Chris is not here. But hey, Chris, when you listen to this later, think, I could have been on the podcast.
I mean, I get the feeling like what I imagine or what I hope that people experience is that when they're invited into the top 8 clubhouse and they find the hidden channel, it's a bit of an Alice in Wonderland moment.
I think so. I know when I came in, I was like, whoa. And then it's like, and then wait till you see
you're gonna edit out this part then, John, right?
Oh yeah, we're gonna get rid of all of it. None of this is making it. And if you think that's cool, wait till you see the League Winner channel. That place is dope. Ryan, Neo League has been super fun and it's great. And again, your experience very different than mine, but I think 2 great experiences to have had. I had a great time. I hope you guys did too. But we're in Lord of the Rings now, and I need help. Because I really don't know what's going on. We got a new league. We got 6 weeks, a different deck building restriction every week. As the league committee member, I always bring a league committee member on to the first week of every big league so they can explain what's going on, tell us the rules, make sure we get it right, because I get them wrong so often. I want to know what's going on with Lord of the Rings, Ryan.
All right, yeah, sure. So I think I'm just going to basically read the little snippet on the rules channel, but was called on the back end curated plane chase. So I just want to explain that if someone didn't play plane chase, we have some new people listening to this, so I think that's pretty cool. So plane chase was a league we did that Chris was working on for a long time, where every week you draw a random plane and there would be some sort of thing that would happen that week. And some of those things were restrictions, like, oh, you have to play a minimum 80-card deck, or you can only use one type of basic land, or stuff like that. So with Lord of the Rings, we felt like we could script that instead of it being random each week. We could sort of pick a restriction like we would in plane chase and have it like be more flavorful with the story. So if we could just kind of think of the right restrictions or think of the right mechanics that we wanted to do each week, we could have a nice vision. Plus, plane chase, you kind of end up wanting to have like certain things happen at certain times. So this was the opportunity for us to be like, okay, I think we'd like to do brawl, but no one wants to do brawl in week 1 because that's silly.
Somebody wants to do brawl in week 1. There's people out there. You kidding me? Get Cody in here. Cody wants to do brawl every single chance he gets.
I want brawl every week.
Yeah, people love brawl. People go crazy. Brawl League was huge.
I meant from a literal kid don't have enough cards perspective, but point is you can slot it in at what we perceive to be exactly the right point in the league if you kind of script it like that. So that's where we started, and that was way back in February. We started this discussion for that idea, and it took 4 months to argue through the 6 different weeks of play until we got it just right. So I don't know. Do you want me to do?
Yeah, I want to hear. I want to hear each one. Yeah.
All right. Real quick. Week 1 is the long expected Party in the Shire. So we're Shire. We're little folk, halflings running around with 40 card minimum decks this week only. So that might seem totally normal to other sealed players or new players, but we're used to 60 cards, so we can finally get a taste of like possibly a workable deck in our week 1 match. So I think that's kind of a fun way to start things off. Week 2, forming of the Fellowship in Rivendell. This is sometimes Plane Chase had grant mechanics, so we are granting some random cards this week, just at the start of the week. It feels good, right? We're going to have a nice feels good moment. Everyone starts out with 2 random uncommon legendary creatures, 1 random rare legendary creature, 1 random rare land, and 1 Lambas. We'll throw that in there too. And then a nice End My Axe flavor with 1 random common, uncommon artifact. And then Johnny's little touch on this little cube he built that you also get a roughly 1% chance to get the 1 ring as that artifact slot there.
That's awesome.
And of course we're back to 60 cards.
I had a question about this.
Yeah.
Is it guaranteed that someone will get the ring, or is it just a 1% for everyone?
I would have to guess it's going to be 1% for everyone.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't think we
that's how I understood it as well.
There
could be multiple rings that are generated.
Okay. But there could also be 0?
Yes.
Okay. Just check.
All right, and feel free to chime in anyone or whatever. So week 3 is the breaking of the Fellowship. Ironically, I didn't see this till now, but it was also the most contentious week out of the league committee as well, which is sort of like very thematic and flavorful. But this is where each match that week you have to play a different color pair.
Oh, I thought it was after each loss you had to go to the next one, or after each win. Like you win, you retire it. No, each match. So even if you lose, ooh.
Yep, that's right. So we're gonna have a way to track that, and I don't have to get into details of that now. But basically, if white's your best color or something, you can pair it with a few of the others. But at some point, you're gonna have to go with a different color pair altogether. That works out mathematically, right? Yeah, you'll eventually have to not do white and go with a different color pair. So, that's what we ended up with there. Should be interesting. I plan on just building my 5 decks at the beginning, and basically, if I get any packs that week for any cards, I would just kind of add it into the respective decks.
Have you seen on Cody's super secret server? They're talking about breaking it with a monocolored deck, because you can play that for 4 of the games.
Yeah, well, but right. That's fun, I guess.
It's every color loopholes. Pair. Right? We gotta find those loopholes. We gotta get our percentages up.
We thought about lands restrictions too. That was another thing that was thrown out there, and I assume it was because of that sort of thing. Minimum 5 islands or something like that. But that's what I went. So week 4 is the Battle for Helm's Deep. This is where for this week only you choose odd or even cards to include in your deck.
That's wild.
So you can switch. I don't know how that could work out for you if you chose odd, but maybe you opened a bomb even. On your loss, you could totally switch to even if that would work out to you. But each game, you just have to have either an odd or even, just like you're playing a companion. So you're choosing a side. That's the flavor there. And then week 5 is the Siege of Gondor. This is where we bring back the brawl. So you get to choose your commander. A lot of debate over commander restrictions or not. We went with not. So choose your commander, play your singleton cards, and see how far you can get. This is, I should say, another little tweak on this rule set that I didn't mention at the top is that normally you're allowed to play only 3 matches a week if you get busy or whatever. We did tweak that up to 4 this time, so you do have to play at least 4 brawl matches. I can't just skip out if you have a bad commander or something like that. So get in there and brawl. What do you think of that, John?
I think that sounds great. I think that this is going to be really it's hard. Like the league's hard enough already, right? And then you get a good deck, and then you have to deal with the restrictions, right? So it's like it kind of levels the playing ground a little bit. Like I like it, but I can also see that it's going to be a tough one. This is going to be a tough one. This whole league, because you're just changing everything so often that you can't rely on even I'm looking ahead at the next week 6. You get only one rare or mythic card in your whole deck. That's it. You choose one rare or mythic card. Like, it's so punishing.
Yeah, so that's week 6. That's week 6. Yeah.
Whoever told you that the road to Mount Doom would be paved with gold? I don't know where you got that idea.
But it's so cool and so neat because it does kind of allow people. So there's going to be someone, at least one person in the top 8, who's just had some crazy. He's got 5 of that bomb rare mythic, and he's destroying everybody. And it's like, well, in week 6, he doesn't get to play all those cards, and that's when everybody kind of gets their shot, right? Like, and it's the deck's made out of the commons and uncommons. That's the bread and butter of Magic, right? So it's really going to be. This whole thing, it's a. I want to say it's a gauntlet. The whole league is a gauntlet, but this feels like a gauntlet where every week is boom. Except for I feel like the first week is kind of a good thing. Like that feels like easy mode for league. I'm building my deck, and it is. Oh, watch out, Ryan! I'm coming for you. But yeah, 40 cards. Like that one's easy, and it's almost like it's almost positive. And then as you go, it's like cool. I get some cards, great. And it's like all right, now I got to play weird colors. Now I got to play half my cards. Now I gotta play Brawl. Oh, that's gonna be super fun. And then the one rare or mythic. Oh.
I should say there's a bit of a precedent here, right? In putting heavy mechanic leagues in the summer slot because oftentimes, it's only the most enfranchised players that stay in during the summer and play Magic. A lot of people go on vacation, leave the game, aren't interested in summer sets like AFR or what was the
Baldur's Gate?
Baldur's Gate, yeah. So, if you're not interested in Universes Beyond, it's likely you're not here. If you're not that enfranchised in the game, you're not here. If you're not enfranchised in the league, you're not here, right? So it's one of our smallest leagues, which means that generally speaking, the committee lets its hair down and tries out some ambitious or wacky ideas in the summer. And I think this qualifies as a very ambitious design project. And I'm curious to see how it's going to play out.
All
credit to Adam Adam, who's here now, can speak maybe more to it. But he and Caleb were the tournament design leads on this one.
Oh yeah, this thing's got Caleb stink all over it. I can tell you that. But Adam,
it is interesting. I'm glad you mentioned that, Chris, because that is a good thing to call out. Yeah, so that's something we just started doing actually. Like, I think it was a Mom that put us over the top. It's hard to design leagues. We've really kind of evolved in how you do this. I mean, just imagine if 6 people are in a channel, everyone's throwing out ideas, but not everyone agrees. Like, let's say 3 people like my idea and 2 people don't. 3 people like another person's idea and 2 people don't. It's like, where do you go from there? We needed a leader every league, so we started appointing a lead designer or lead designers to kind of help us get through those stuck moments where we can't decide what to do. So Adam was great, man. Oof, he must have got sick of putting polls out there to vote on this or that or the other thing.
Yeah, sometime we'll have to go through the things that got voted down in the final minutes. Although maybe we save them in our back pockets for a future league. I don't know.
Yeah, it is sad to see stuff on the cutting room floor that you think would be good, but
that stuff comes back. Look at the Set Wars, right? That was a failed idea that was an off league that came back and then was a team league, and that was a real fun one. So those ideas can come back. They come back all the time.
Yep.
Well, I'm excited for Lord of the Rings. That sounds great. It sounds hard. It sounds very hard. But I'm here for it. I got my pool. I got my deck kind of built. I'm excited to see how these games go. And like I said, I'm still pretty new to this set, so I still got some drafts to get in before I start to try to get a feel for it. As always, I'll be doing my 5 p.m. match with Cody on Friday, tomorrow. Stipulation wheel abounds, so come on out, watch that. But now is the time for you guys to ask your questions to me and Ryan. So if you guys have a question, I posted the thing. No one emojied it, so someone has to have a question for us.
Oh, where'd you put it in? Content updates?
Content updates. Emoji this if you have questions. But you guys can just come in here. You guys can just unmute and ask a question. It's fine.
Are you doing Surgical Bay again this year?
This year?
Or this season? Not year,
so
sorry. This league, whatever.
Chris was messaging me about it while I was playing that game, and I haven't had time to read those messages. I like doing Surgical Bay, but I probably shouldn't do 2 shows a week. It's very hard. It was very fun, but it was also, I'm the kind of person where it's like, I'm a people pleaser. I'll do 4 shows a week if I can like do it, but then it eats up all my time and I'll be like grumpy that I have so much stuff to do. So I don't know. I think it's a great idea and I think it's really cool. And if, someone else wanted to take the helm and take over it, I would love for it. It's hard for me to commit to 2 weekly shows. It's just a lot,
Oh God! Anyone want to take advice from me and Chris as we look at your pools? We'll run our Surgical Bay, Chris.
Hey,
I think that would be hype. Actually,
yeah, that'd
the
be great.
dynamic is there.
Oh gosh!
Actually, John didn't fire me. I quit. You gotta tell him what the contents of the message, John. It makes it sound like you're back.
Well, here's the thing: is that
my messages to you were that things are getting too busy on my end. So just work wise, it's crazy these days. And in fact, I'm gonna have to go in a few minutes and teach a class in the philosophy of mind. So I can't stick around for very much longer. But I did enjoy the show, doing it with you, John. It was fun co-hosting. I don't know if anybody benefited from our advice, but it was fun to make it. I think we got the format down.
As soon as we stopped, we got it perfect.
If we pass the show on to somebody, they've got a good format already for them to take over. And I feel like maybe every season having a different pair of people do the Surgical Bay might not be a bad thing, right?
It's also, it could be like different people every week can drop in and drop out. It's just deck building and playing. Like it's not hard and it's something we all do anyway. So it could be like a podcast guest where there's one main guy and they bring on a different guest every week and we get to see people's different styles of deck building. There's a lot of options for it. But as of right now, that there are no plans. And yes, Chris got too busy. He had to back out. I wasn't going to throw him under the bus, but if he's going to put that out there. I did not stop Surgical Bay. Chris York stopped Surgical Bay.
Creative differences.
Anybody else? Anybody got any questions for Ryan? Here, I have a question for you, Ryan, since you're here, and this is supposed to be kind of questions for new players too, and for things about the league, and it's all getting kind of wrapped up into podcast because that's how this is.
Ryan, I've had this question burning in my mind for the last year. I just didn't know how to ask you, but I think today's the day.
Am I being asked to prom?
Ryan, who's your favorite person in the league, and why is it me?
Yeah, obviously I can't pick a person, but Chris was the first person that I played a match with. I didn't really know he was the tournament organizer, but I hopped in here in Zendikar League, which was a couple of years ago, 2.5 years ago maybe at this point. And so I was just happy that he could give me a happy introduction to this, so I'll give him a lot of credit for starting this league and kind of showing me the ropes there on week 1 for my first game, and I've been hooked ever since. But no, I love so many people on the server. I couldn't possibly let them down by telling them it's you, Ref.
Fine, Ryan. I know you don't want Chris to kick you out. Did you only start playing the league online, or are you part of the old school store group?
No, I was one of the first from the online crop to come in here. I think Caleb and I started at the same time, and just I've had perfect attendance since.
Fair.
But I'm in upstate New York though. I'm not a Canadian.
Oh, I'll stop by sometime then.
You gotta tell them though, right? That you did make the trip. You made the pilgrimage.
Yeah, that's true. I did. Yep. Chris posted some photos at one point over the holiday season, Chris was back in town in Montreal, and so got some of the local gang together for a draft, a Secret Santa draft, and I made the 3.5 hour trek up north to see some faces and play some paper magic, which I hadn't done in like 20 years. So yeah, that was fun.
What a dream, man! I would love to make it up to Canada and play with some of these people in the league. It just sounds so fun and so cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
Ryan, I have a question. League business question for you that maybe you can answer for me. Do we still do promo packs? How do the promo packs work now? Because I do not know, and I can't figure it out.
Yeah, you didn't prep me with that question.
No, I
promo
didn't.
packs are like the task at work that like you still remember but have never done, and hope that people will just forget about it and pretend that you didn't drop the ball. Hey. But yeah, it's a sore spot in that we have promo packs that we could give out for different reasons, and without getting into the details, we'll just say no one picked up the mantle to really figure out what to do with that.
Hey.
And and then Chris is like just whipping us to keep cranking out league after league, so like I can't do anything else but
no, I know.
Focus,
Hey, it's an honest answer for a question that I was like, I keep posting these screenshots of me with people watching me play like they mean something. I was like, I haven't been pinged for one in a long time. I don't know what's going on with them. So that's at least a good enough answer, right? Like we don't know, and maybe they'll come back, and maybe they won't. But hey, at least I know that I'm not missing out on stuff. That's really what I wanted to know.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose we should probably just reach out for help, right? If we can't get something done, So I guess we'll say, if you had promo packs, let's say 5 to give out every league, how would you do that? We tried a kind of league-wide like point system sort of thing, and we can still try to be good to our word and go back in the channels and track some of the points people are trying to accumulate to that. We could cut bait and try a new way of doing it. So I don't know. If people have ideas, I guess, it's out in the public space now, that happy to hear some suggestions on it.
I can always cut this out, Ryan. You say the word, this is gone, and only the people in this room hear this. You can just say the word.
It's good. It's good to address head on.
It's hard. It's a hard thing to deal with, right? Because they used to be like give out promo packs for doing certain things, but then people like, not that they would throw games, but maybe you're not playing your best game if you're trying to make as many blood tokens as you can that game to get a promo pack or something.
I really loved that. Yeah, I remember when Cody would come up with like crazy like. He did that, right? He
came up with... of course that's a weird reprisals for doing weird things. Of course that's a Cody thing. Of course it is.
Oh boy, what if he was official promo pack?
You don't let Cody in that room, man. He'll burn that thing down.
Oh boy.
All right, before we wrap up the show, does anyone else have any last questions to get to for either me or Ryan? The show's been going a little long, and we got a new player mixer that we got to try to fit in here still. So any last questions for me or Ryan before we wrap this thing up? That's a no. That is a big no. Okay, well, Ryan, thank you so much for coming on this show. I hope you have... Which one are you looking forward to the most? Which week? Which week are you most excited for?
Oh, God. Is there a week where I re-roll my pool? No. I don't know. I'm...
Sign me up for that week.
Yeah, right. I think that's the hard part, because it's like 40 cards. Like, if you get a lot of bombs, you're just more likely to get them. So it's like I'm already continuing my my down attitude toward my first week here. But I'll try to always have fun like I do. So.
You always do, and I didn't get to play you in Neo League, so I hope we get a game in this league. We've been trying to make an effort to make those happen more.
I died too quick. Sorry.
Hey, it's okay, man. It would have been I couldn't. If I would have taken a loss in that league, I couldn't have lived with myself. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding? I think that would have been very, very bad. Well, Ryan, I thank you for coming on the show, and I hope you have a great Lord of the Rings league. I am excited for it. I hope that you are too, and I hope when you're in that league that you get to keep a good 7, and that shuffler is in your favor, because it needs to be to go all the way. Bye, everybody. We'll see you next week. I always say these 2 things up top. 1, if there's anything Ryan or really anybody would like to bring on and bring up, go for it. I see people got their microphones muted. I don't think you need to have them muted, honestly. I'm kind of looking for a chaotic jump-in thing, and if I start talking about something wrong or right, feel free to jump in and say something. Like anybody, not even just Ryan. Like, I want this to be kind of out there and kind of fun and kind of weird. So please, be a part of the show. Make it fun. And don't be a jerk and don't ruin it. Don't make like fart noises for 5 minutes. Don't make me have work. I don't want work. And let's have fun. This is going to be a real fun time. This is going to be weird. This is going to be chaotic. I don't really know how this is going to go. We're going to see. I just played a game for an hour that really stressed me out. And I've never done a live podcast before. So here we go, everybody. Thank you for being a part of this. Thank you for watching. And I do apologize for starting so late.